Hello, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Maria and I am a farmer who knits and is a grandma living in West Wales. A year ago, I retired from my day job and I have just had the most marvellous fun discovering the knitting world, the podcasts, the people, knitting and a little bit of house sitting, a little bit more farming. And I have loved watching your podcasts and I've taken part in Stash Down Diaries and I've been stashing up, first time ever. And I just thought I'd like to touch my toe in the water and see how I felt about doing a podcast so that other people maybe will see what I'm doing and enjoy watching me like I enjoy watching other people. So, my name is Maria. I'm on Ravelry as Maria3102. And I'm 61, a grandma of 6, and I've been knitting since I was about 5 when my 2 grandmas and my mum taught me. So, start with what I'm wearing. This is a Cashmerino Aran Serdar pattern, which I probably knit 17, 18 years ago for my daughter, and I've basically pinched it and been wearing it, and I just really comfortable. It's amazing how well Cashmerino Aran has worn. It does need depilling, but I've never once depilled it since it was knit 17, 18 years ago. So this is the first year I've ever used Ravelry, and in 2025 I have knit 75 projects, of which 33 items were sweaters, and the rest of them were socks, hats, one shawl. So I've been doing the 12 cast-ons with Yarn and Yarns with Angie, and I got that through watching Jen's Stash Down Diaries, and I absolutely love watching these podcasts. I knit, you're like my friends. I knit and it just brings me joy. Catherine of Mimino, I mean, there's so many. I love Knit Sip Happy. I'm so enjoying all your company and everything you produce. So this year so far, I have made men's socks. I may have actually finished them in December, so they may be last year's. Vanilla recipe, West Yorkshire spinners, cardamom, cuffs, heel and toes. And this is hand-spun, hand-dyed yarn that I bought from eBay, and it's called Christmas Day 2021. And I did a man's pair, and then I cast on, I did an exact same copy, a woman's pair, and so they're matching, and I've got no waste of the Christmas. I took it down to about 5 meters of waste, and so that's brilliant, that's done. And yeah, my 2026 12 cast-ons, I've never done this. I'm a monogamous process knitter. I start a project, I finish it, I cast on something else. This has been hilarious. In 2025 I did, I can't remember, 4 or 5 test knits. Really enjoyed them. Did a baby set, a beautiful sweater for the Knit Pearl Girl, 2 projects for Elizabeth Smith, again a basic raglan sweater I think called Downbeat, and another one called the Ice Maker. So I've just cast on for Eleanor Mortensen. I think it's called the Buckshorn, and it is a really interesting colourwork pattern, knit inside out. So this is actually the front and the stocking stitch is actually the back. So I ordered some wool because strangely I have no wool of the right type. I ordered it from one of the online hobby things, and the wool I picked online looked like it had a fantastically good contrast. When it came, there was no contrast. The main colour, the green, I ordered a brown contrasting colour and it just was lost. I absolutely couldn't see it. So I accidentally fell into to get free shipping, some organic wool. This is wool and silk. This is organic wool. Same weight, 3 ply, 3 millimeters. So I've substituted the blue instead of the brown, and then I'm going to use an orange for some really interesting feature work. So far I'm getting gauge, but I'm not entirely sure. I've got so little. The swatch was gauge, but I'm not sure. I'm going to keep my eye on it. I might need to do a needle change. So that's that. I've hardly started on that. because I'd done, say, 15, 20 rows of the colour work and then really didn't like the way the colours were working out. So I frogged it back to the German short rows, and I'm at it starting again. My next whip is very similar to the last one. I'm going to knit a man's sock with heels, toes and cuffs in cardamom, and this one is again bought from eBay, and that's the colourway. And it's got a name. It has got a name, which I've put on Ravelry. Seem to have lost the tag. It's a very, very old yarn. Somebody's had it in their stash for a very, very long time. Hand spun, hand dyed, very beautiful merino, non-superwash, and it's something like everyday yarns. It's a rose colourway, something like that. But it's brown. I like the way it works with the red, and I'm hoping to get 2 pairs again from there. I've got great hopes that I'll get another 2 pairs of socks, the same as the last 2 that I've finished. And then my third 12 cast-ons is basically a horse blanket. It's a Serdar pattern, man's cardigan, Aran. Oof, I can only say, bit of a large man. Look at that, that's the back. Beautiful, easy pattern. It's an 8-row repeat. Now, the wool I'm knitting with, it's probably an acquired taste, okay? There's the 2 fronts. So this wool is hand-spun, undyed Herdwick. Bought from eBay. A kilogram of it was £18. I bought 8 balls, 2 kilos of it. That's the other front. And just on the sleeves, so that's the first sleeve there. I'm just at the point of decreasing up the arm. And I'm probably going to have enough wool left actually to knit a waistcoat for a woman or another sweater for a child. But the wool is incredibly interesting. It's very, very sheepy. It's not washed. I find bits of straw in it. Not much, but, you know, bits. It's going to be incredibly warm. And I know from experience that when I block this, it will fluff up and it will make a product that, this is like knitting with baler twine. It is really hard, tough wool. It's a really interesting product. Most of the Herdwick wool that's produced in the UK goes into flooring things because it's not soft enough. People don't want to wear it against their skin. But it is ferociously warm. It really is. And I live in a world where we're in the lambing shed for 5 months of the year. I go out at 4 or 5 in the morning, and it is bitterly cold. Now, modern farming gear is tremendous. It's come on a lot since we used to just wear the plastic waterproof gear, which I still have sets of. But this is like going out and you're insulated and you can do extra hours in the cold, in the garden, in the shed, because you're warm. And the biggest reason for me coming in, leaving the shed, is because I'm so cold, I'm getting hypothermic. So this stuff is absolutely magic. It's going to be interesting to see how it finishes. I think it's going to be a garment that lasts 40, 50 years, not dissimilar to this, which is done 17, 18 years. And it still, to me, looks like it could have been knitted a fortnight ago. In my bedroom, which I'll show you if I do another podcast ever, I have a sweater that I knit myself when I was 14. And I kept it because it was, for me then, a very challenging pattern. I had a very, very good knitter as a mum. She was brilliant and she could knit anything. And she obviously stood over me when I was churning out my first Aran patterns. But I was so proud of that because it actually fit me. And a lot of the things I knit in my early days, the fit wasn't great. And I never understood why the arms were too long. And just, you know, you improve with practice. So this is seamed, it's not knitted in the round. The Herdwick sweater is seamed, not knitted in the round. This year I've discovered knitting in the round. I've invested a fortune in lots of circular knitting needles, Knit Pro. I went to Wonderwool Wales and I clogged up and stood on a stand for about 2 hours picking lots and lots of Knit Pro needles, so I'd have the right circumference for sleeves and socks and everything. Spent an absolute fortune there. But I have so enjoyed this year of knitting and I've so enjoyed the podcast. So anyway, these are my first 3-4 items of the 12 cast-ons 2026. I also intend to knit 2 matching Musselburgh baby hats in some red 4-ply wool, because one of the lads who works here, fabulous guy, his wife is expecting twins, a boy and a girl. So I've got some lovely red 4-ply wool, which will make really cosy, warm hats for these babies that will inevitably be outside in their lambing shed or outside in there with their animals. They've also got an older little girl who's about 3 or 4. So if I have got enough, I'll knit her one, but I suspect I won't have enough left. I also aim to knit some socks, so that's another 2. And I have got a lot of leftover Gefjun Icelandic wool. If you look on my Ravelry page, I have knit a huge amount of men's extra large Alafoss Loppy sweaters. A lot of them are the same pattern, and that was because I was knitting for a wedding. So all the men of the wedding, the bridegroom, the bride's father, the man who helped prepare the amazing works, setting up the electrics for the marquee and everything, who's a big friend of my brother-in-law, and the 2 bride's brothers, the 2 bride's brothers' partners, they've all now got these matching sweaters. And in fact, the only person who hasn't got one is my sister, because I knit her a Let Loppy self-drafted squirrel pattern, because they've got red squirrels in their garden in Kinross. And actually that one I was very disappointed in, because again, the contrast colours for the squirrel and the main colour I didn't get right. Definitely have an issue with colours. And I have now bought a colour chart, and I aim to, anything that I self-draft, self-design, I need to put more effort into the colour work. So this is my first podcast. I'll leave it there. I'm not sure what I'm going to call myself, whether I'm going to call myself the Knitting Shepherdess or the Knitting Shepherdess Grandma. I don't know. I've got to have a name, I suppose. I'm not expecting good feedback about the lighting. I've never ever edited a video. I think I'm just going to put this one out there, and if people actually watch it, I may have a bash at playing with editing, but I'm not very technologically savvy. I'm wondering if you'd be interested, actually. Last lambing, I did a very small video of me in the lambing shed, showing the sheep in the lambing shed. And I was thinking, I think I might be the only knitter who is actually actively flat out farming as well. And I wondered if you'd be interested in seeing our sheep and the year of how we manage these sheep. They never leave our farm. We take our lambs right through from birth to fat. We breed our own new replacements, mostly. Occasionally we buy in a few bits and pieces. And we farm in the most sustainable way you could imagine, actually, and environmentally friendly. Our eco footprint is very small, but typical of all of the West Wales hill farmers. It's how pretty much everybody farms. So yeah, if you're interested in that, put a comment in, and I can show you some of what we do outside as well. But mostly, I hope somebody watches this and finds it as much fun as I find. I am so loving watching your podcast. Everybody out there who does it, Lycak, Amanda Lycak, everybody, I just so enjoy it. Traditional knitting, the Norwegian knitter. I mean, thank you for what you do. It brings me such joy. Keep well, and hopefully I'll keep watching you in 2026, and let's see if I have another year as good. I doubt I'll ever knit 75 garments ever again in a 12-month period. Anyway, lovely to talk to you all. Thank you. Bye-bye for now.